If they set that android free, it will be the end of all of us! No!
Hey, no, this has always been my favorite arc in Dragon Ball. I've said it before and I'll say it again, nothing else in the series captures my attention quite like the android in Cell Saga. I remember catching it dubbed in Spanish on Telemundo and not fully understanding what was going on. I was just an El Sabo kid. I was terrified and obsessed with this time-traveling bioengineered cryptid Cell. So stepping into it through the lens of Kakarot should have been a dream, and in some ways it still is. The love for the source material is here, the world building remains intact, but something's missing. Maybe budget, maybe time. Whatever the reason, so much of what makes this saga iconic feels skipped over. And yet, even in its shortcomings, there's still beauty here. The arc finds a way to conclude characters' journeys to reveal truths about these warriors. Where it falters in spectacle, it redeems itself in reflection. We begin by chasing Dr. Gero into a frozen wasteland, the mountains hiding an ominous familiarity. Bell's village sits nearby, the same place where Goku once fought the Red Ribbon Army. The irony is striking. Gero's creations are born right next to his past defeat. You'd expect some payoff here, some side quests to tie this together, but there isn't. And then the time crunch I talked about sets in. Chilling introductions of Android 17 and 18, the exact moment Trunks feared most, the cage's opening and Gero losing control of 17's cold disobedience. It's all gone. Even Trunks' desperate blast to destroy them was cut. Gero's gruesome death, which I assume was censored, isn't. It's just off screen. Strange considering the game had no problem showing dead Namekian children.
We're not gonna follow a single one of your orders. We're just gonna take care of ourselves now. Geezer.
There's another one! What in the world is going on in there?
16 simply appears after the lab explodes, the scene reduced to fragments. The androids leave without a word, their only focus is Goku. Vegeta's pride shatters here, not because he's weak, but because he's ignored. To him, being disregarded is worse than being defeated. What remains is a fight that's different from the manga, but still layered. 17 warns Vegeta that his arrogance will be his downfall. 18 battles with grace and precision, and for the missing drama, I find myself locked into a loop of big bang attacks, discovering an almost unfair strategy that I use for the entirety of the game. The game moves quickly here. The team's desperate fight against the androids is shuffled off screen. While 18 takes on Vegeta, Trunks, Tien, and Piccolo take on 17. This completely robbed us of Trunks' horror as he saw his father beaten down, recalling the lifeless body of his master Gohan in the rain. It's a letdown. Especially since Kakarot has proven before during the Frieza arc that it could expand quieter moments into something visually breathtaking. It almost feels as if all the animation budget went into that raccoon cutscene. The androids bow to find Goku, but one moment from the manga is cut that shouldn't have been. Android 16 noticing the birds fleeing from the battle. Small, yes, but crucial. That line plants the seed of who Android 16 is. A creature designed for violence who finds meaning in peace, something that was planted early and comes to full fruition later in the arc. The Z-Fighters split, regrouping to plan their next move, but for Piccolo there's only one path forward. Become whole. Krillin remembers Guru's words on Namek. If Piccolo and Kami were to reunite, their strength could rival the Saiyans. But it's more than just power here. Fusing means risk. If they merge, they lose the Dragon Balls, but if they die, they lose the Dragon Balls. Kami himself knows his time is short. During the intermission section that took place before, he told Goku he feared his time was coming to an end. Originally, we thought it was going to be from the androids, but now we know it's more than that. It's the end of his own identity. But before we follow Piccolo, the game sends us with Trunks. A small, quiet quest. He helps a stranger fend off poachers hunting the last of the wild dinosaurs in the location. The man introduces himself as Ader and tells Trunks that his name was given to him by his friend Goku. A simple line, but it lights up Trunks' face. He knows Goku. He too has walked in the shadow of this man. They shake hands and a connection is formed. In irony, Ader's an android, but one who chose peace, who chose love. A small scene, but it really lingered with me. Trunks' disdain for androids collides with the existence of one who's kind, and it reinforces something profound about Dragon Ball's world, that even in its vastness, everything feels connected by Goku. Through friendship, through legacy, through memory. 6 degrees of separation condensed into a single handshake.
Goku wa ore ga mamoru. Ore warui koto yurusanai. Omae taosu Hacchan yurusanai. Mou dame.
Omae no make da. Sakusen o kangae nai to na. Kono shoubu katte miseru. Ore to tatakatte miru.
Oi, ikiteru ka?
From here, the story turns to horror. Bulma calls the team with the news. Capsule Corp time machine identical to Trunks' was discovered abandoned at a countryside, covered in moss, worn down by years. Trunks freezes. He has his time machine with him. So what is this? He and Gohan go to investigate, the boy asking Trunks about the future, and Trunks paints a nightmare, describing the horrors he endured. This boy, completely unaware, he is the reason he survived at all. A bond across timelines, unspoken and invisible, but deeply human.
I was wondering, is the future really all that bad?
It is. Humanity has been reduced to only tens of thousands of people.
That's terrible.
The time machine sits near a rotting home, devolved of life, completely shattered with no explanation, at first sighting straight out of a slasher film. A cracked shell, the remains of something that forced its way out. Whatever emerged from here arrived years before Trunks did and came from a time years after Trunks first came back. This is how Cell enters the story, a creature whose arrival reshapes history itself. Ironically, his time travel saves the warriors. We have already seen that none of them are anywhere near the android's level, and if they would have fought 17 and 18, then Trunks' timeline would have happened all over again. But because it was 19 and 20 that attacked and the androids having a different nature than the future ones, our heroes have a fighting chance here. The game skips over that the word hope is scratched into the time machine. Trunks uses this to confirm the machine is his, and it's strange because it could have been an added line tossed in anywhere in this scene. Gohan discovers a massive alien husk nearby, a skin shed like a nightmare, evidence of something that crawled from the time machine and devoured that household. This is Toriyama at his most brilliant. Dragon Ball shifts into pure horror here. Cell is framed as a new monstrous threat. Even his design reflects it. In Eastern society, the cicada symbolizes rebirth, immortality, and transcendence, rebirthing itself until it's perfect. The insect waits underground, dormant, until the moment comes to emerge. Just like Cell, who hatches from his grotesque cocoon and later sheds his own skin to achieve perfection. He's a creature of transformation, of inevitability, a nightmare born from patience. Now we're finally given Piccolo to control again, and it's now time to get the conclusion of his story that started all the way back in the 23rd tournament. Piccolo goes to Kami, who acknowledges that Piccolo is not like his father. Kami, realizing that his limitations as Earth's protector against this new threat, agrees to surrender himself and fuse with Piccolo through a grouping of questions to reaffirm that Piccolo is new. Now, if you're new here, I've been following Piccolo's story in Kakarot very closely, because I think this is the absolute best story of this game. Piccolo is born from absence. He's what remains when Kami casts aside his darkness. Not a child, not a brother, just an echo. An embodiment of everything unwanted. His entire life begins as rejection, as if its very existence is proof that some things are better left behind. But that rejection becomes his story, because for Piccolo to grow, for him to find his purpose, he has to face that fracture. He has to look into the void of what he is and choose something different. And that choice here is to fuse with Kami. That choice is to become whole again. Yet the path to the wholeness didn't begin with Kami. It began with Goku. Piccolo's first goal, the only thing driving him, was to kill Goku and succeed where his father failed. But Goku, without ever trying, became something more than a rival. It was a benchmark. A mirror, a reminder that true strength was not just about domination, but about growth, perseverance, and honor.
Yajirobe, can I please have another senzu bean?
Huh? You should still be full from that last one. Here you go.
Thanks. Here, eat up.
By fighting Goku, Piccolo was forced to continuously evolve, and in that struggle he caught glimpses of something he'd never known before. Genuine respect. Later on, friendship. Through Goku, Piccolo began to question his own solitary, ruthless nature. Now, if Goku was that mirror, then Gohan was light. Gohan was the first person to ever look at Piccolo and see more than a monster. Training this wide-eyed, kind-hearted Saiyan child forced Piccolo to confront everything he thought he understood about weakness. Because in Gohan, kindness wasn't weakness. It was the boy's strength. And then came the moment of truth, the day Piccolo threw himself in front of Nappa's attack, the day he sacrificed his life for a boy who had come to mean more to him than victory, more than pride and more than survival. The single act revealed something Piccolo had never believed himself capable of: compassion. From then on, Gohan became his emotional anchor, his reason. The bond between them reshaped Piccolo's identity. He was no longer the Demon King. He was a true friend and mentor, which brings us all the way back to the fusion with Kami, because this act, this decision, and the culmination of everything Goku and Gohan awakened in him to fuse with Kami is to erase that self he's clung to all his life. No longer Piccolo, no longer the Demon King, no longer even Kami, but something new. A Namekian who's long since forgotten his real name, a culmination of souls reuniting. Piccolo reveals who he truly is. His strength no longer selfish, his choice is no longer driven by pride. He fights for an imperfect world that he's learned through Gohan and Goku that it's worth protecting. Piccolo's story, once defined by absence and rejection and chaos, finally finds resolution in wholeness and belonging. And in one single wave goodbye to Mr. Popo, we are shown that his warrior has accomplished conquering the evil in his heart. The seed planted is now a fully grown, beautiful adjacent tree.
Farewell, Kami. Please, don't die.
I am neither Kami nor Piccolo. I am a Namekian who's forgotten his true name. Right. I'm off.
We arrive in Ginger Town, an all too familiar stage in Dragon Ball history. In every timeline, the city's destined for agony. But here, its tragedy takes on a different face. Instead of the instant annihilation that came with the androids, the people here were hunted, drained, left as nothing more than empty clothes scattered on the pavement. Walking through this town is unsettling. The silence is louder than any explosion, and the trail of discarded garments lead us directly to him. The final villain of this saga, the time-traveling puzzle, the bio-engineered cryptid Cell.
Face monster? What's going on? I can sense Goku's energy from this creature, and Vegeta and Frieza's too. What the hell are you?
Oh, you don't need to know that. All you need to know is that I'm going to enjoy you as my next meal, Demon King Piccolo.
And so begins Piccolo's trial. Fresh from uniting with Kami, the Guardian Earth now stands at the front line against a creature forged from the DNA of the universe's strongest fighters. Cell doesn't fight with elegance here. He doesn't have anything that is specific to his boss fight. He just spams Kamehameha after Kamehameha. A hollow imitation of the legend he was built from. In the manga, this encounter carried a different weight though. Piccolo outsmarts Cell, feigning weakness and allowing one arm to be absorbed, buying enough time to extract the truth from him. It was a masterstroke, a reminder that Piccolo's brilliance lies not only in his strength but in his cunning. But here the scene's stripped down, their conversation drifts into casual exposition, and Cell flees into the city before the moment can truly land. It's a loss, because this was the kind of scene that deserved animation, a chance to see Piccolo's deception unfold, to witness the sharp spin kick he throws perhaps for nothing more than the love of the game. But with that, the Android Saga comes to its close, giving way to the next chapter, the dawn of Cell, the creature I've been waiting for, the arc that will test whether Kakarot can rise to the occasion or fumble the moment entirely. If you're new here, stick around, hit subscribe, leave a comment, join me on this journey through the Dragon Ball games I missed growing up. The story is very far from over. But I have to ask, what do you think? Did trimming out these cutscenes save the pacing, or did it cost the arc some of its soul? There's a lot of stuff I would have loved to see animated. I know. This has taken me a while to get through and much longer than the Namek Saga, but I swear I've had a million things going on in the real world. But I'm almost done with all of it. Actually, all the videos up until Buu Saga have been recorded. I just got to edit them. Scripts are done as well. So they should be faster and put out a lot quicker than before. But until next time, y'all have yourself a damn good one. Peace.